Hi, it's Lou from Christian Faith and Fiction. Today I'm going to do a TBR video for February. Technically it should be an MBR. I'll explain what I mean later on. So this year I started off the year, I thought, right, this year I'm not going to do any TBRs, to be read piles. I'm just going to read what I like when I like. I'm going to be a complete mood reader. 1 month in, and actually I find it a bit more stressful not having a plan, not having something to achieve. I like ticking things off lists. I wasn't going to do it because I find that I don't always stick to the TBRs and I don't always want to stick to the TBRs. So hence I'm going to do an MBR, which instead of to be read, this is a may be read or might be read. I don't know if it'll catch on as a thing, but yeah, these are the books that I might want to read in February. First of all, here's some books that I'm still reading currently. A Sherlock Holmes escape book, The Adventure of the Tower of London, which technically is kind of a book, but also a puzzle book. It is like a kind of like choose your own adventure, but you have to do puzzles to work out which is the place to go next. It's got like numbered pages with things written on them, and a puzzle wheel at the front. It goes around. So far the story is a little on the sparse thing, but the puzzles are quite interesting, although I didn't get all of them. I couldn't work out, even when the solutions are in the back, but even when I looked at the solution for like 1 or 2 of them, I couldn't work it out. But I'd like to get to the end. The only problem is, because you're jumping backwards and forwards in the book, I can't tell how far through the story I've got, so I don't know when the end is going to come. Maybe if I'd been thinking ahead, I'd have like written down how many pages that I've read and I could work it out, but yeah, there's that one. And I'm also currently reading The Lost Property Office by James R. Hannibal, which is book 1 in the Section 13 series. This is not listed as Christian fiction, although it is a Christian author. It is middle grade. It is a mystery, but with some sort of fantasy sci-fi elements put in there. It's quite interesting so far. I actually kind of binge listened to nearly half of it just yesterday, so I think I'm going to finish this one quite quickly. The main character, Jack, has this ability to mix his senses together, and so is able to track things and use information and see things that other people can't see. And then I'm also currently listening to Prayer by A.W. Tozer, which is a compilation of different things that he said about prayer in his different works, and then it has a sort of reflection on that and some questions for each chapter. Interesting so far. And I'm also listening to God Never Gives Up on You by Max Lucado. I always thought his name was pronounced Lucado, but the audiobook narrator pronounced it Lucado, so if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. This is a devotional type book, and it's following through the life of Jacob from Genesis. As you'll see, I have started to want to pick up some non-fiction recently. That is part of my mood reading. That's a good thing to come out of the mood reading spell that I had. So I would also like to read the Josiah Manifesto by Jonathan Cahn, which I believe is sort of allegorical to start with, and then goes into some advice for living in the end times, and it just sounded interesting to me. I've listened to some of his preachers online, so yeah, I'll see how I get on with this style of book. And then in fiction we picked On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness by Andrew Peterson as a book club pick. I've read this book before and I really enjoyed it. Very quirky, middle grade fantasy with some Christian content or allegory in there. I thought I liked the second book even more than this one, and I thought that there was a bit more Christian content in that one than this one, but I would like to go back and read it again as we are doing that, and I might pick up the audiobook just to see what the difference is between that and this hard copy. Well, it should be the same text, but how I get on with the story in a different format. Then I've been reading through the novellas in this collection, A Season to Wed, and I've still got, what's it called? Serving Up a Sweetheart by Cheryl Wyatt left to read. That is the fairly short novellas, romance, Christian contemporary romance, and all to do with weddings. This one is following someone, Meadow, who serves up food at weddings, and then her roof collapses, and the roof contractor who comes to help is somebody who she doesn't necessarily want to be there. And the final book I've chosen that I'd really like to get to soon, because it is set in the winter and February is really our last winter month here in the UK. So A Winter by the Sea by Julie Klassen. This one feels like it's quite a big book. It's over 400 pages, which for fantasy is not so big, but for historical fiction, I suppose, you can get a lot of historical fiction books that are more chunky, but it feels like this one is a bit more chunky than I'm used to. So how far I'll get through, I don't know, but I'm hoping to read it in the winter. It is the second book in this series, and it is set half an hour away from me in Sidmouth. So I'm really enjoying the place. The whole series is sort of following 4 sisters who've opened a guest house there, and this one I believe is going to be following Emily's story. So quite a few books that I've put as possibilities on my maybe read pile. Let me know in the comments if you've got any particular book that you want to get to in February. If you'd like to see more videos about Christian fiction, you can watch this video over here. And please do subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to be notified when I post a new video. Okay guys, I hope you're having a really great reading week. Until next time, I pray God bless you.